together with the sports bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, and it's just going to be yours truly today running the full show here. We only have not a huge slate. We have 6 games in the NHL. I've only moved at 2 of them, and I don't think I'm going to be moving on any others. I think I'm only going to stick with 2 games today in the NHL. I'm looking a little bit at the under in that Bruins game. Other than that, I'm really not looking at too much in the NHL today. That the Bruins under being an ad potentially. I've moved on 2 other games closer toward the pick'em games. Then we have 8 games in the NBA that I'll be breaking down. So that should be fun as well. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. 1 went right, 1 went wrong in the world of sports betting, and I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It wasn't a good day. It was a frustrating day. It had an opportunity to be a better day, but it didn't, and it wasn't. So it happens sometimes. Overall, went 2-7 yesterday. 2-7, 2-6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2-6 yesterday. 2-6. So not a fun day. Overall, lost the only college basketball play. Marist -6.5. They win by 2. So they didn't cover the number there. NFL could have, should have been better. I should have grabbed that team total for the Bills. Could have been a nice move there. The team total for the Bucks would have been nice rather than the spread. Bucks +6 plus Bucks +210 does not come to fruition yesterday. I did add the over late, which did come out and work and cash. So I got the over 6.5, which kind of salvaged that game a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't a profitable day in the NFL. And then the Bills -2.5. He misses the field goal with a little less than 2 minutes left. Yeah, and that was all she wrote. We could have had a fun overtime game or probably Patrick Mahomes would probably just gone down the field and won it the next drive, but whatever. It could have had an opportunity to cash, but it didn't, and it happens. Can't cap for missed field goals like that. I had 2 plays this weekend lose because of missed field goals late. Packers money line as well was one of those 2. So if only my kickers can make some field goals. NHL went 1-2 yesterday, down 1.10 units. The Flyers had not 1 but 2 multi-goal leads and let that game slip away. 2 teams that I was looking to fade, and I backed one, and it didn't work. And it happens. It happens. The fade Ottawa train slowly coming to a stop. I think I'm going to move on it next game. One last time. They play Montreal tomorrow. I'll probably move on the fade Ottawa trade one last time. If we lose that one, then I'll probably stop fading Ottawa every game because they finally turned things around. But just overall yesterday, 2-6, down 2.83 units, and now I believe I'm down about 2.95 units in the month of January. So it is what it is. We're in the red, but we're going to work our way back to the black. So not a good day yesterday. Wish it could have been better. Hopefully today's a better day. And got some plays I do like. So January 22nd. There we go. We'll head over to the chat here in just a second. Let me plug in my laptop because I realized I did not plug in my laptop when I got home. So fun times here. Totally prepared. Then we can get into this here Almost knocked over some stuff on my desk there. All right. Let's head over to the chat, which the first 6 of them are Marcos. What's up, my guys? Let's get us cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation to me, my dog. You know the rest of the saying. Value and NBA. Yay, NBA. Magic Mahomes, man does it again. Let's go Chiefs. And yeah. I see Detroit and Baltimore. And I know everybody's going to see that stat about Mahomes as an underdog again this week and be like, oh, he got to bet him again. I think Baltimore's the better team. I'll probably move on Baltimore. And I'll probably wait for the public to hammer the Chiefs so I can get the 3. I do like Lamar, but it's all about the new Tom Brady, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, all the favorites in the NBA won yesterday, and I think some covered, like the Fakers who barely lose at home. Clips went on a 22-0 run to best the Nets. The 4th and win by 11. And there you go. Morning, Sunshine. What's good? Rio Dio Prime. Yo, what's good? Markel, fire the Bills kicker. Yeah. Facts. Yeah, that was not a fun result yesterday with the freaking Bills kicker. But we've got some hockey here. And what a good matchup we have to kick off the card here. We have the Boston Bruins and the Winnipeg Jets. The Bruins -130 favorites. Total of 5.5 in this game. And one thing I noticed with today's slate is we have no 6.5s here for totals. Now I think we're starting to see 6.5s here in a couple of games. When I wrote down the totals this morning, and let's see, we still have 5 6s and 1 5.5. So some books have 6.5s, most do not. Let's get into it here. We have the Winnipeg Jets and the Boston Bruins. The Bruins -130 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. It's not very often we see the Winnipeg Jets this season as dogs. This line opened up at a 134, and it's gone down to a 130. So we've had a slight move towards Winnipeg here. Line opened up at a -119 for the over 5.5. It's now -108. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards Winnipeg here, and I could definitely see it. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here, as we have 81% of the tickets and 53% of the cash is on Boston. Granted, only 2,500 tickets so far here. We have 32% of the tickets, 75% of the cash is on the under. The lines move towards the under. And I kind of agree with this under, because I have this game projected at 4.8 goals, 4.81 goals. We have 2 really good goaltenders with Swayman and Ullmark. The only problem is that Boston's just playing overs, and more overs. 9-4, 5-2. They had a 3-0 game at 4-3. They've won 4 in a row. And previous to that, they lost 3, but 4 of the last 7 games have gone past regulation. I wouldn't talk anybody off a draw in this game. And when you look at the Jets, they've played basically nothing but unders. 2-1, 4-2, which would go over this 5.5 number, but 2-0, 2-1, 5-0, 6-2, 3-1, 3-1, 4-2, 3-2. I think if Winnipeg wins this game, it's a clear and obvious under, and I think we see an under in this game. Track history as of late has been saying a little bit towards the under. 5-1, but 3-0, 3-2, 4-2, 3-2, 2-1 between these two teams. Boston's won 6 of the last 7 matchups. The Winnipeg Jets did win their last matchup 5-1 on December 22nd. This feels like a really good under. I know the 5.5 is going to scare people, but this 5.5 move makes sense. It just does. And I think I want this under. I think I want this under 5.5. The bit. What are the team totals? The team totals, both of them are 2.5, choose towards the over, which maybe says a little something there. 2.5 plus 140 to the under for the Boston Bruins. We've only seen the Winnipeg Jets not give up more than the last time the Winnipeg Jets have given up at least 3 goals was on December 18th. It's been over a month since they've given up at least 3 goals. Maybe this is the game that they do, but I think this is a tight checking, low-scoring game, and I'm going to move on this under here. I'm going to move on the under 5.5 with Winnipeg and Boston. I know 5.5 are scary for unders, but I feel like this one has to be moved on here, and this is the right spot here for an under. 5.5s are low, but I think this should have been a 5. I think this is a 3-2 type of hockey game. It's going to be a sweaty one, maybe a draw. Maybe this game goes to overtime, tied 2-2. Winnipeg wins in overtime. I'd also lean Winnipeg here. If you're looking at a side in this game, I'd lean probably a little bit more towards Winnipeg, especially with them being a dog in this game. But with that being said, I'm just going to stick with the Winnipeg or the under 5.5 here in this game between Boston and Winnipeg in this game. Let's see. If I were an idiot, I would think that Clippers game was all an act to lose the whole way and actually cover the number. Imagine how many people live bet the Clippers in that game, down most of it. Yeah. I'm a sucker for plus money. JETS and the draw. I can see the draw. The draw seems very interesting. Draws have not been hitting as much as of late. I haven't been betting them a little bit because I kind of figured after that hot streak of draws that it was going to slow down a little bit. And I think those are going to pick up. I'm going to probably start looking back at draws the last couple months of the season, because that's generally like if you in the last couple months of the season, if you see a Metro team versus a Metro team, just bet the draw because it'll probably go to overtime. But yeah, I would look towards the Jets here only on the side. Supness, what's good, Lex? I like the draw also, but I like the under also, but can see the draw 2-2 or 3-3. Yep. Oh man, no Timmy. I'm still gonna go over the NBA, Marcos. Don't worry. Swayman 3-2 went past his 3-2 went past to OT. There we go. That's a good little number there. Ending 2-3 or 4-3. Yeah, I think this is more of a 3-2 game because we've seen the way Winnipeg's been playing. And I think that can continue into here defensively. They've been so good defensively. I have moved on the first 3 games of the slate and nothing after that for hockey. So we have the Vegas Golden Knights. They are traveling to New Jersey here. -120 for the Devils. Total of 6 in this game. Another 6 or another non-6.5. We have no 6.5 today. I mentioned that earlier. Just thought that was interesting with how many 6.5s we've seen all year. This line opened up at a -120. It got all the way up to a 130. It's back down to a 120. So we've had no line movement on the side here. Line opened up at a 6.5. It's down to a 6. So the line's moved towards the under. The line has moved towards the no side. No, the line has not moved towards the side. 78% of the tickets, 98% of the cash is on the over, but yet the line's gone from a 6.5 to a 6. I do wonder how much of this money is coming down on the 6. And then we have 65% of the tickets, 58% of the cash is on the Devils, and the line has not moved in this game. And when I was looking at this spot here, I got plus 105 last night with Vegas. I think the wrong team is favored in this spot here, and I got the Vegas Golden Knights around a -120 favorite in this game, and we're getting them an even money. I got them at plus 105. Vegas is finally starting to put it together a little bit here. They have been playing some unders as of late. They've won 3 in a row. They had a really nice win there. They were down 2-0 heading to the third period and won in regulation against the Pittsburgh Penguins, which was beautiful to see. Previous to that, they beat the New York Rangers 5-1, and they beat the Predators 4-1 as well. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. They were all at home. Now they do hit the road where they are 9-9-3 this season, but they have had they've had a day off in between for travel. This could be a little bit of a tricky travel spot for Vegas. But on the flip side, the Devils are not a team I'm looking to lay any type of number on, especially at home. They're 9-11-2 at home this year. This is a team that's really struggled at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. But they lost their last game 6-2, but previous to that, they beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-1. They lose to Montreal 3-2. They lose to Boston 3-0. This is a team I am not looking to lay any type of favorite price at home with the Devils here, and I'm going to look to not do that here in this spot. I'm on Vegas at plus 105 in this game. I just have the wrong team favored in this spot, so we're going to go with a little VGK plus 105 to take on the Devils here in this one. Let's see. Nick, don't be reading half my comments. Man, it takes me a while to type in, and you're all good. I know. You're just fine. Yeah, I tend to read half of it in my head, and then I just forget to read the other half. They're long text, but yeah, I do appreciate the support there. Leaning VGK as dogs, absolutely. I'm a sucker for plus money. VGK, yep. Vegas gave me plus 110 or ESPN gave me plus 110 on Vegas. When I clicked it in, it was 110. As I bet it, it went down to 105, and then it was even money. The stacks pod of the day, Montana over 144. The Grizz in their game there against the Bobcats or the Wildcats of Weber State. Weber State Wildcats, right? I want to say they're the Wildcats. They are Wildcats. Yep, the Weber State Wildcats and the Montana Grizz over 144. Stacks pod of the day. VGK. Yeah, agree VGK. We'll move on here, and this is a tricky game that I know maybe not a lot of people will be interested in the side I am. I've already moved on this game though, and I actually really like this side. Let's get into it here. We have the Florida Panthers and the Nashville Predators in this game. Florida opened up at 114. It's up to a 125, so we've had to move towards the Panthers in this game. Line opened up at a 6.5 at plus 104. It's now down to a 6 at minus 111. So yet another line movement that has gone from a 6.5 down to a 6. A lot of movement towards the unders here, and we've been seeing a little bit more unders as of late. We have 90% of the tickets are on the under, so that makes sense. 76% of the tickets, 93% of the cash is on Florida, which the line move towards Florida makes sense. Now, when we look at what Florida has done as of late, yes, they've struggled. They've lost 4 in a row. 2 of those were in overtime. And when we look at that last game against Minnesota to close out that homestand, wow, that was a frustrating game. Because how did the Minnesota Wild score? Kaprizov on the power play, Hartman on the power play, Faber on the power play, Zuccarello on the power play, Kaprizov on the power play, Hartman into an empty net. Those were the goals that the Minnesota Wild scored in that game. And wow, that was that frustrating, especially when the Florida Panthers, and they didn't, here's the thing, there was no penalties in the third period, which is why the only goal that it went over into the third period because there was an elbow and call with a minute 12 left in the second, which went over to the third, which is why Kaprizov scored 41 seconds in on the power play. But the Panthers in their last game in the first period alone took 5 power plays, and overall in the game took 10. They had 10 penalties in that game, and the Wild made them pay with 5 power play goals. And if you're Florida, you can't do that again. I expect them to be more structured in this game. First game hit the road after a bad homestand. I can definitely see that being beneficial for the Florida Panthers. And when you look at the Florida Panthers in that game, yeah, they got when you look at the expected goal numbers, yeah, they got outplayed by Minnesota. That's going to happen when you have 10 penalties. Other than that, during this entire time, they've been tough luck losers. The entire losing streak that they've been on. And I look for this to positive regress. Yes, I said that last game with the Florida Panthers against the Minnesota Wild. I think hitting the road here will be a massive benefit for the Florida Panthers in this game. On the flip side, I'm not looking to back the Predators there. They had a 3-2 loss in Arizona. Now, this is their first game back after a 3-game home road trip where they went to Vegas, lost 4-1. They beat the LA Kings 2-1, and then they lost 3-2 to the Yotes. I see this as a game where hitting the roads can be very beneficial for Florida because we saw what they did last time they were on the road. The Florida Panthers, they went on a 4-game road trip where they beat the Yotes 4-1, the Knights 4-1, the Avalanche 8-4, and the Blues 5-1. So I look for them to get back on the winning ways here on the road. Give me the Florida Panthers at minus 120 in this game. If you look at a list of Panthers at home games, this looks like a perfect get-right spot and double revenge. Absolutely. And that's why I love the Florida Panthers so much today. I almost took the -1 line with the Florida Panthers. And maybe to get a little bit more on the Florida Panthers. Now, I have them projected around -190 in this game, so I'm seeing -120. I really, really like that. I'm interested. Maybe I grab that team total. Ooh, that's a 3.5 at plus monies. Ooh, I might move on that team total over as well in this game as well with the Panthers. I think they put up 4 against a UC Saros who has struggled a little bit this season. And Fernando looking at the over as well. Yeah, I can see the over. I have no plays in the next 3 games. We'll talk them out. Maybe I'll land on something. I don't know, though. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're at the Arizona Coyotes here in this game. Pens, minus 145 road favorites, total of 6 in this game. This is another 6. I forgot to type in the 6, but it's a 6. Line open up at a 6 and minus 108. It's still there. Line open up at a 134 for the Penguins. It's up to a 145. So we've had a line movement towards the Pens. We've had nothing for the total. 65% of the tickets, 83% of cash is on Pittsburgh. The line has moved towards Pittsburgh. And now Pittsburgh is a bet on team for me. They are a team I'm looking to back. Laying $1.45 on the road, though, is not something that's extremely appealing to me. I like this Yotes team as well, especially as a home dog. And when you look at this matchup here, I have the Penguins projected. I'm trying to do math in my head around a 145. I thought this line was pretty good when you look at the side. And the total odds this game projected for 5.63. So maybe you look at it under in this game. Maybe you look for Pittsburgh to show up after blowing that lead and losing in regulation, or maybe this could be a sign of things to come for the Penguins where maybe that was just a nice little streak for them, and maybe we see them start to come back down to earth. Their numbers don't suggest that they will, but they did lose the expected goal battle against Vegas in that game, 3.89 to 2.1, and they have lost 2 of the last 3 expected goal battles, so maybe this is a Penguins team that had a nice little stretch there, and maybe is going to cool off a little bit. Their advanced numbers were really good, and they still are really good. They're only giving up 2.697 expected goals against, and they're producing 3.833. So this is still a Penguins team producing good numbers. Is this a game I'm looking to bet? No, I think these lines are about right. Yep. All this talk of Penguins 11-0 versus Coyotes, but if anyone's going to break it, it's Ingram at home. Pass. Are they really? Have the Penguins really dominated the series that much where they've won 11 in a row? Holy crap, they have. 4-2, 4-1, 6-2, 4-1, 6-3, 4-3, 2-0, 3-2, 4-0, 4-2. They've covered the puck line in 8 of the last 10 against each other. Like, that's insane. I didn't even know that, but it's not something that goes in by handicap. So fair enough. If Bobrovsky is in goal, I lean Predators. He's been getting scored 4 or more on lately. Yeah, I can see that, but it is what it is. Patrick Roy, what a story. He's going to do big things for the New York Islanders and the NHL. I can only hope. He can't be much worse than Lane Lambert, right? And I think the Islanders, and we've seen this now. This is the 5th coach fired. The only team to lose after firing their coach was the Ottawa Senators. The Wild fired Dean Evison. They won their next game. The Blues fired Craig Berube. They won the next game. They went on a nice little run there. The Oilers fired Jay Woodcroft. They went on a nice little run there. And the Islanders fired Lane Lambert, and they won yesterday. And then they get the Vegas Golden Knights on a back-to-back tomorrow. I'm going to bet the Islanders until they lose with Patrick Roy. I think this team, you see that intensity with the Islanders. I actually watched last night's game pretty intently. Their forechecking was a lot better. They were much more aggressive on loose pucks. Granted, the one problem is still there, which is not going to fix itself overnight, is that they give up way too many shots. But this is what we saw last year with them, and they relied so much on Ilya Sorokin. So now Sorokin, I think, is going to improve under Patrick Roy because you have one of the best goaltenders of all time coaching you now. That's only going to be beneficial for Sorokin. And I think maybe this is where we see Sorokin start to turn his season around and expect better from Ilya. I hope. That's just me being a hopeful fan at this point. But I think we can see more from Ilya going forward. Oh, boy. This 10 o'clock slate is ugly. We had the Canucks as minus 425 favorites against the Chicago Blackhawks. Total of 6 in this game. Well, let's get into the line history in this spot here, where we have the Vancouver Canucks open up as minus 425 favorites. It's down to a 405. I mean, you can only imagine because the people are looking at this game and saying plus 425 is a little much, but the question is it? Line opened up at a 6 at minus 121. It's down to a 6 at minus 115. So we've moved towards the under here as well. This under is actually pretty appealing. 50% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the over, and the lines move towards the under. And we have 10% of the tickets, 78% of the cash is on the Blackhawks. But the money's coming in on the puck line here for the Canucks. 78% of the tickets, 63% of the cash. At this number, the Canucks are practically unplayable. They're coming in off of a nice win as well, 6-4 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And their next game is against the Blues at home. So not crazy. Blues and then Blue Jackets. And then they have the All-Star break. And then they had an East Coast trip, which should be interesting to see. On the flip side, we have the Blackhawks, who are finally able to break through offensively in their last game, a 4-3 win in overtime against the New York Islanders, which led to the firing of Blaine Lambert. Previous to that, though, 0-2, 1-1-1, 4 against Calgary, 2-1-0. Like, I don't trust this Blackhawks team to put up goals at all. They've produced 2.08 expected goals for in their last 10 games, only 2.938 against. It just shows how important Connor Bedard was offensively for the Chicago Blackhawks team and still is. They've produced more than 3 expected goals once in their last 10 games, and I expect the offensive struggles to continue. On the flip side, Vancouver's defensively has not been bad. Now they alternate good. It looks like they alternate good game, bad game, good game, bad game. They just played a 6-4 game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is slowed down and it's slow to a crawl, and and we see good defense in this game. We see an under because Blackhawk unders have been pretty good as of late. We're seeing a 6 at even money. I agree with that. I lean under in this game. I might get to an under in this game. We'll see. But a pass in this spot here for me. No action in this game. Let's see. When Islanders were losing late, I doubled down because new coaching advantage almost forced win. Yeah. Late night banger, Canucks 2.5. I really don't care. Fair. Like, I can see a Blackhawks team total under. Blackhawks away, minus 425, justified pass. I have no interest on the side. I don't want the Blackhawks here. I kind of think the Blackhawks beat the Oilers. I have a feeling, yeah. But yeah. You said Baltimore and the Cats. Who do you have winning at all? I would lean Baltimore at this point. Now, I feel like that's the stupid answer. That's the obvious answer, that Baltimore can win the Super Bowl now. I thought their biggest threat was Buffalo, but apparently Buffalo's biggest threat was their kicker. So we'll see. Canucks puck line and under 6.5. I can see that. Did Lamar and Patty ever play each other before in the playoffs? I could look. Let's see. Head-to-head. No. January 9th, 2011. So, no, they haven't. Because the latest they've played is December 20th. The last whatever. So, no, they've never played each other in the playoffs. I'd feared that Smith might get announced announced late. Absolutely. If I'm the Canucks, this is a spot. This is a spot that I would definitely think you would start Smith. Not in the playoffs, but in general. Yes, they have played each other in general. Last time these two teams played each other was on September 19th, 2021. So it's been 3 years, over 3 years. The Ravens won that game 36-35. Previous to that was in 2020 on September 28th, 34-20 win for Baltimore, or for KC. KC's won 5 of the last 6 meetings, dating back to 2015. Yo. Blackhawks money line. Good luck. San Jose Sharks and the LA Kings minus 360 for the home Kings in this spot here. That is just ridiculous. But it is San Jose, so I guess it's justified. Let's get into it here. The line history in this game where we have 360 favorites, the Kings. They opened up at a 356, and they've gone up to a 360. And line opened up at a 6 at minus 101. It's still a 6 at minus 101. Let's take a look at the cash flow coming in. 71% of the tickets are on the Kings. Money line, no cash flow. 84% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Kings. Puck line, 86% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the under in this game as well. The line's not really moved either way. And looking at this game here, I mean, I'm not going to tell you there's value on a minus 360. Do I think the Kings win this matchup? Yeah, the Kings have won 6 of their last 6 straight meetings against these San Jose Sharks. They finally got off the schneid with a 2-1 win over the New York Rangers. The Sharks are coming in off of a win. They won 5-3 against the Anaheim Ducks. I had this game projected for the Kings to be around minus 240, minus 235, minus 240 range. So minus 360, there's no value on either side really in this game other than maybe taking a shot 3-1. If you want to get frisky, take the Blackhawks money line or the Sharks money line. Hope one wins and you can make bank. Do I think both win? One of them wins? Maybe. I would say the Sharks are more alive than the Blackhawks are. But I kind of like the Sharks tomorrow at home against the Rangers, with the Rangers playing a third game in 4 days. So this is a no play for me. As for the total, I think this 6 number is right. I think I'm just going to stick with Winnipeg under, Florida Panthers, and the Vegas Golden Knights. And I might look towards playing the team total over for the Panthers and maybe the under in that Canucks game. But we'll see. We'll see with that. So, VGK has hit 6 straight under 6.5, and the Coyotes have gone 4 games under 6.5. There you go. Maybe they're looking towards some unders. That's why we're seeing some 6s. We don't have a 6.5 today. Under 6.5 in both those games. Good luck. Sharks plus 2.5. That's got to be a decent number, right? Sharks plus 2.5. Let's see. Sharks, no. Okay, we don't have any adjusted numbers in this game yet. Let me see if I can find hockey. Nope, I don't have adjusted numbers yet. But I can only imagine that 2.5 is pretty interesting. Let me look on Bovada here, the plus 2.5. Because it wouldn't surprise me if that's a decent number. Plus 133 for the 1.5. Let's see. Spread. Alternative lines. Spread. Do we have? There we go. 2.5 minus 150. Sharks plus 2 is minus 110. That's not a bad look. Sharks plus 2 minus 110. Hoping they keep it within 2 goals. Nobody wants to hear but this late night sleepy special spot Sharks. Also, I don't trust the Kings laying this type of number on the road. So I think a shot with the Sharks is justified. Like you give me plus 2.5 at a decent number, maybe. Kings puck line in the over. Penguins 3 straight under 6.5. Devils went under 6.5 for the last 5 games. VGK Devils under 6.5 for the same. And there you go. But now we will go from the ice to the hardwood as we will transition over towards the association with the NBA here, where we'll kick it on off with the Detroit Pistons hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. We have the Bucks as 12-point road favorites, total of 247 in this game. I've not moved on any NBA yet. This is something I wanted to talk out, see the market moves and all that stuff. So just trying to transition over. And, of course, my site that I use is not loading, which is always fun when I need it to load, and it's not. All right, cool. We'll head over to Pinnacle, or not Pinnacle. We'll head over to BetStamp now for this game. It finally loaded the page. Awesome. Okay, good. Never mind. I don't have to go over to BetStamp. Let's do it this way. Where we have this line opened up at a 12.5. It's down to a 12. So we've had some movement here towards the Pistons. Line opened up at a 247.5, and it's now down to a 247. So we've had a slight move towards the under here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow, we have 77% of the tickets and 66% of the cash is on the over, yet the line's moved slightly towards the under in this game. And we have 28% of the tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Pistons with 9,400 tickets in. So big money coming in on the Pistons plus the points here in this game, which is kind of interesting here. And let's take a look at what my projected line was for this game. My projected line in this one, do I have my NBA over here? I do not. I have to get my NBA spreadsheet up because I have my hockey one up. So let's take a look here. I have this game projected at a 9.5. So I see some value here on the Pistons in this game. Now, the Pistons have been obviously still losing games, but they've covered 4 in a row. They covered as 13-point home dogs in the last game against Milwaukee. They covered as 12.5-point home dogs against Minnesota. They won outright as by 12 as 6-point dogs against Washington, and they covered as 9-point dogs against Houston. So the fight from Detroit is there. Now, Milwaukee has won 4 of their last 5 games, but they've only covered in 1 of them. They were 2-point favorites against Boston and won by 33. Other than that, they won 129 to 118, did not cover as 13.5-point favorites against the Golden State Warriors. They won 143 to 142, did not cover as 4-point favorites against Sacramento. They lost by 40 as dogs against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they won against these Detroit Pistons just 2 days ago in the same in Little Caesars Arena here, and did not cover as 13-point favorites. I'm interested in the Pistons at this number. Am I looking at a money line? Probably not, but I mean, you know me, if I'm betting aside with the spread, I'm going to bet the money line as well, even if it's a small point to unit play. And I'm kind of leaning towards taking a shot with the Pistons here at 12. The market's moved towards them. The sharp money is on them. I see value on the line. They're a home dog of 10 plus. And they've been covering as of late compared to a Bucks team that has not been. So actually, I have talked myself into a bet here on the Detroit Pistons plus 12. Now, I you know me, I throw small bets at the money line, 0.2 units on plus 525 as well. Do I expect to win the money line? No. Do I expect maybe the Pistons to lose this game by 10 points? Yeah. And the way the Pistons have been playing as of late, they're 6-4 ATS in their last 10 games, and the Bucks are 1-9. Do I trust the Bucks to cover double digits on the road here in this spot? Absolutely not. So give me the Pistons plus the points here in this game. Pistons cover. Maybe not win outright, but Pistons do cover here in this spot. I got plus 2.5 for minus 143 or better. I know it was at least 70%. There you go. Pass number 1, very fair. 0.8 unit on Pistons plus 12.5. Pistons on a covering streak. Bucks not on a covering streak. Absolutely. Absolutely. Goff versus Mahomes in Super Bowl is destiny. Fair. Rematch. No, because when Goff went to the Super Bowl, he faced the Patriots. 7 units on the over. Bucks playing the same team the very next game has led more points in the second game every time this season. Interesting look there. Pistons cover and Brogdon goes in. Fair. Can drop 28 points from last game. And the over still hit. Last time the Pistons and Bucks had 2 meetings in 3 days. The second game had more points than the first as well. Interesting look there. I like the Pistons, and maybe that look right there would tell you Pistons team total. If you like the Pistons a little bit there, and you like the over, you can get the Pistons over 118 team total, minus 115 on my book. That's not a bad look either. But we've probably talked entirely too much on the Pistons. Let's get to the next game here where we have the Cavaliers and the Magic. Cavs minus 1.5 point road favorites with a total of 216 in this game. Let's take a look here at the line history in this spot where we have this line opened up at a 1. It's up to a 1.5 for the Cavs. So we've had a slight move towards the Cavaliers. Line opened up at a 215. It's up to a 215.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 75% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the Cavs money line, 79% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on their spread. 69% of the tickets are on the over as well. And looking at this game, I have the Cavaliers projected as a 2-point favorite in this game. So I think the line's about right in this game here. We have the Cavaliers coming in. These two teams just played on the 11th of 2023 for December. So they played a little over a month ago. The Magic won that game by 10. The Cavaliers are on a nice little winning streak. All of a sudden, they're 25-15. They've won 7 in a row. Granted, they've played Washington, San Antonio, Brooklyn, Chicago. They beat Milwaukee without Giannis, and the Hawks. My bad. So Cleveland is on a nice winning streak right now, and Orlando's anything but. Now they've lost. What was it? 2 of their last 3 games and 5 of their last 7. So this is a struggling Orlando Magic team in this game. I don't have particularly too much interest in this spot here. I think the line's about correct. So this was a pretty simple pass. I guess I'd lean Cavaliers just at the number, but no play here. Let's see. Yeah, but when the Rams played the Chiefs that year, it was the greatest game of all time. Yeah, that was a hell of a game. That's right. That was like a 56-53 type of game. That was back and forth and crazy. Magic money line. Goff 2-0 versus Mahomes. Interesting look there. Cavs minus 105. Got it last night. Great line there. Cavs spread. Yeah. Cavs minus 6 for me is a special number alts. An alternative line. Don't hate that there. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. The Philadelphia 76ers, San Antonio Spurs. The Sixers are 14-point favorites, total of 236.5. Let's take a look at the line history here in this one between San Antonio and Philadelphia. Line opened up at a 14. It's up to a 14.5. So we've moved towards the Sixers in this game. Line opened up at a 237.5. It's down to 237. So we've had a half-point line movement towards the under. We have had a half-point line movement towards the Sixers in this game. We have 46% of the tickets and 85% of the cash is on the Spurs, yet the lines moved slightly towards the Sixers. 86% of the tickets and 97% of the cash is on the under in this game as well. Taking a look at my projected number for this game, I have the Sixers as a 15-point favorite. So I see no value in going after the Sixers in this game at all. When you look at what these two teams have done as of late, the Sixers have been good. They've won 5 in a row. Granted, they've played Sacramento, Houston. That Denver win was a good one, a struggling Orlando team, and Charlotte. So they haven't had the toughest of schedules as of late. Granted, San Antonio is not tough either. San Antonio coming in off of a win, 131-127 against the Orlando Magic. Against the Washington Wizards. And now they are on the 5th game of a road trip here. This is not an easy spot for the Spurs. This is the last game of a road trip they had home next game. I have no interest in this game at all. No, thank you. I'm not laying 14 at home with the 76ers, but I really have no interest in the Spurs here in this one. Lean Sixers first half. That's not a bad look. Heavy. Yeah, I can see that game as a game where the Sixers jump out early and maybe the backups come in late, and we see maybe a backdoor cover for the Spurs. But I think if you're betting the Spurs, you're kind of hoping for a backdoor cover. So we'll move on. Now we have the Raptors laying 7 at home. Here we go. Raptors are 7-point favorites at home here. Total of 227 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we had this line opened up at a 5.5. It's up to a 7 now. So we have a line movement towards these Raptors. Line opened up at a 224.5. It's up to a 225.5 in this game here. We have 75% of the tickets and 66% of the cash is on the Grizzlies. We got the lines moved from 5.5 to a 7. And we have 70% of the tickets and 75% of the cash is on the under in this game. The lines move slightly towards the over in this spot here. And obviously, we keep saying the Raptors are better at home, but yeah, they are better at home, but they're still only 10-11 at home this season. Well, compared to 6-16 on the road, I guess that's not terrible. And with Memphis here, they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. This is a tricky spot where they haven't covered in 4 of their last 5 games. I really have no interest on either side here. Both teams are 1-4 ATS their last 5 games. It's a pass here for me. Really no interest in this game. I have this game priced around a 4.5-5 range. I just have no interest in this game at all. With the way the market's moving here. Embiid points and rebounds over 41.5. Dame over 3.5 threes. Fair. Nick, I am okay with the Ravens winning it all. I like Lamar. If my KC don't win, I just don't want San Fran winning it because I don't like overhyped Purdy. And it's no secret since the Cats cost me $50K. Yeah. I've disowned the teams, yeah. We like Blackhawks money line. I can only look Blackhawks in that game, but I have no interest in backing them. The Cats. 1890 gambler. Fair. Nobody wants to bet this trash. Yep. Watch Memphis win. Yeah. NBA time, best part of the show. I can't stand the NBA. Yeah, we get another double-digit favorite. This is such a great part of the show, Marcos. We've had the Bucks as -12. We've had the Sixers as -14. We had the Timberwolves as -14. And half the games have freaking double-digit favorites. And this is why it's tough to bet the NBA sometimes. Let's get into it here where we have this line opened up. Where did it open up here? Charlotte, Minnesota. There we go. Line opened up at a 222. It's down to a 218.5. Line opened up at a -15. It's down to a -14.5. So we've had a move towards the Hornets, and we have a move towards the under here in this spot. Here, 64% of tickets, 84% of the cash is on the Timberwolves, and yet the line's moving towards the Hornets. 86%, 46%, 48% of the tickets, and 99% of the cash on the under. The line's dropped 4 points. So let's take a look at the projection. My projection for this game has the Timberwolves as 16.5 point favorites. But once again, am I looking to lay points here? No, I'm not looking to lay double-digit points here at home. Granted, the Timberwolves are 17-3 at home this year, and they are coming in off of a home loss against OKC. And we just know that this Hornets team doesn't cover numbers. They're 2-8 straight up and ATS in their last 10 games, and they've been double-digit favorites a few times, or about double-digit dogs a few times, and they've not been covering much. They did cover in their last game against the Sixers, a 97-89 loss as 12-point dogs, but do I trust them here? No. So if anything, I'm laying the points or nothing in this game, but I have absolutely no interest in laying any type of points here in this game. Niners. I lean Detroit. I think I'm more interested in the over in that game. We'll get into that Sunday. Boston -3.5 against the Mavericks. Total 240 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here between the Bruins, between the Celtics and the Mavs. Line opened up at a 4. It's down to a 3. So it's a move towards Dallas. In this game, line opened up at a 240. It's down to a 239. So we have a move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 78% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the over. We have 75% of tickets and 74% of cash on the Celtics. We got the lines move towards the Mavericks in this game here. My line has this game around a 5.5. So I lean Celtics in this game, but I don't like the way the line is moving in this spot, especially with the money coming in on the Celtics and the lines moving away from the Celtics. Will lead me not to bet this game. The Celtics are coming in off of, I believe, a win in their last game. Yeah, they win 116-107 against the Rockets. They don't cover their number, though, after losing their first home game of the year, 102-100 against the Denver Nuggets. It's a stay-off spot for me. Pretty easy pass this game. I'm buying Detroit to win Super Bowl tickets. Good luck. CJ McCollum overs we trust, and Ingram unders we trust. There you go. Hello, Mavs are home rested, and dogs off a loss against a team on a back-to-back, even if it's against the Celtics. Fair. 7 units on the under 239.5 last 10 meetings. None came anywhere close to 239. Fair. Like the Mavs. Mavs money line first quarter. Mavs money line full game. Mavs money line +3 Luka overs. There you go. Celtics 4-0 the under. There you go. We have 2 games left. The Phoenix Suns are 5.5 point favorites against the Chicago Bulls. The total of 229 in this game. Let's take a look at this spot here. As we have this line opened up, -9 for the Suns. It's down to a -5. Somebody's got to be out for the Suns in this game. Line opened up at a 229. It's down to 228. Let me take a look at draft. Let me see Gotta see. I got to imagine somebody's not playing in this game, and I just need to figure out why this line's gone from a 9 to a 5. I think I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out pretty quickly here. With the injury report, nobody's listed. Nobody's listed. Then why is this line moved the way it has? That makes no sense. That this line has dropped 4 points for no reason. Somebody's got to be out in this game, which makes me have no interest in this game whatsoever. My numbers have the Suns as about 4.7 point favorites. I don't know why this line's plummeted the way it has because I see it opened up at a 9. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. Took Mavs money line. There you go. Under 229.5. Fair. We'll move on to the last game of the night. We have the Sacramento Kings -8, total of 237 in this game. Line opened up. Let's take a look here at the Kings -7.5. It's up to an 8. So the line's moved towards the Kings. It did get up to a 9 at one point. There's been buyback on the Hawks. Line opened up at a 241. It's down to a 237.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 58% of the tickets, 67% of the cash is on the Kings, and the lines move towards the Kings, so that all makes sense. 56% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the over. Line moving towards the under does not make much sense. I have this game projected around a 5.5. So I see value here with the Hawks, but the line moving away from them with the bigger bets coming on the Kings. Not everything correlates in this one. The only game that everything correlates in the NBA for me today is the Pistons. So that's all I'm going to land on here in this slate. I lean T-Wolves, I lean Hawks, and I lean Celtics for those looking for leans, but I'm not betting any of them, and I lean Cavs. But for people looking for more action, they're looking for leans. I'm not an NBA guy. I'm on the Pistons. That is the only play I have in the NBA today. So that is all that we're going to be running with today. And I'm going to look to add the 2 plays in hockey that I was looking to add here. We'll come back to hockey real quick. I'm adding the Panthers team total over 3.5. It's a +125, and I'm going to add the under 6. Here it's even money between the Blackhawks and the Canucks. So we're adding Panthers team total over 3.5, and we're adding Hawks Canucks under 6 as well. So that's where we're going to be running with for today. Now time for a little recap, and then we will head on out here. Pistons +12, small bet on the +525 is all I've got for the NBA today. In the NHL, we're running with Jets, Bruins under 5.5. Devils, not Devils. I was staring at the Devils logo when I meant to say Vegas Golden Knights +105. I'm on the Florida Panthers -120. I'm on the Panthers team total over 3.5 +125. I am on the Blackhawks and Canucks under 6, and that is it for today's show. One last check of the chat. Nope. But that is going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow with another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.